Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to be talking about adjacent and vertical angles. Two angles are adjacent angles when they share a common side and have the same vertex. Let's look at our model. Here we have two intersecting lines. Angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent and they share the same line. Angle 2 and angle 3 are adjacent. Angle 3 and angle 4. And angle 4 and angle 1. Two angles are vertical angles when they are opposite from each other, and they are formed by the intersection of two lines. Vertical angles are congruent angles, meaning that they have the same measure. Here we can see that angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical because they are opposite of each other. They also have this arch, which represents that both angle 1 and angle 3 are the exact same size. In a similar way, angle 2 and angle 4 are also vertical angles. Let's look at some examples. Tell whether the angles are adjacent or vertical, then find the value of x. So here I notice in our model that we have two values that are opposite of each other. That tells me that we are looking at vertical angles. And I know by the definition of vertical angles, they are the exact same size. So if I know this value is 70 degrees, my value of x is also 70 degrees. Our next model. Here I see that we have two angles that form a right angle, or 90 degrees. Since my two angles are side by side and share a common line, I can tell that this is an adjacent angle. I know that when I combine my angles 31 plus x plus 4, their sum will equal 90 degrees. Let's simplify this. 35 plus x equals 90. If I want to isolate my variable and get x all by itself, I'm going to use inverse operations. So instead of adding 35, I'm going to subtract 35 on both sides. -35 -35 cancels out to 0, and my x can be brought down. 90 minus 35 equals 55, so my value of x is 55. Try these two problems on your own. Stop the video and come back to compare your answers. Let's look at number 1. Here I notice that we have two angles that are side by side and share a common line. These are going to be my adjacent angles. Here I can also see that the sum of both of these angles are going to equal 180 degrees. I know this because if I had two right angles, I would have 90 plus 90, which would equal 180. Whenever you have a straight line, those two angles will equal 180 degrees. So let's set up our problem. 85 plus x will equal 180 degrees. To get x by itself, I'm going to use inverse operations. I'm going to subtract 85 on both sides of my equal sign. 85 minus 85 cancels out to be 0, and I can bring down my x. 180 minus 85 equals 95. Let's look at number 2. Here I see that I have two values that are opposite of each other. So I know that we are looking at vertical angles. My rule for vertical angles is that they have the same value as each other. So knowing that this angle is equal to 90 degrees, x must be equal to 90 degrees as well. I hope that you found this video helpful. Please let me know if you have any further questions.